Hi, I'm Tommy, and I'm a professional paleontologist. By day, I use the latest data science techniques to reconstruct ecological and evolutionary changes from the fossil record. But by night, I investigate cryptids, the paranormal, mediumship, the occult, politics, history, philosophy, and even God himself. You know, all the things that good little scientists are supposed to avoid. If you want to join me on my journey, friend, be so kind as to like and subscribe. And welcome to Creepy Puppets Presents.
Happy Memorial Day, everybody. Okay, I know I sound a bit like death worn over, but it's not been the best week. Last week we had a family medical emergency, and this week I am simultaneously cursed with, well, I thought it was allergies, but it's probably a cold, and tendonitis in my right arm, so I still can't really move. Like that's kind of I can't raise my arm to my mouth. Anyway, so I haven't really been able to do much work under these conditions. I thought, hey, I sound like Batman now. Maybe this will make my voice sound a little more butch. But turns out no, I still sound like a drag queen. Just, an older smoking drag queen. Anyway, I did have a point. So another Conjuring movie is coming out shortly, and I wanted to talk about the Warrens, Ed and Lorraine Warren, who are obviously, a big deal in the parapsychology community, and I am very interested in parapsychology. And, they've also been somewhat controversial figures. Facts haven't come out about, their relationship and the extent to which they were honest with various members of the community. So, look, the Warrens are, second only to Hans Holzer in importance to the parapsychology community. But they have not been uncontroversial. So anyone who's, really invested in parapsychology will probably have mixed feelings about them. So I want to relate my story of the Warrens in response to this movie coming out. So I met Lorraine Warren and John Zaffos when I was 15 years old. Unfortunately, Ed Warren had passed away by this point. It was at a parapsychology event. It was a Halloween theme. They got both of them to come in and talk. And, as far as I remember, this was very, I think it only been like a year or two since Ed Warren had passed. And Lorraine didn't speak much at the event. She seemed very tired and very diminished. John Zaffos actually did most of the talking, but she did talk some, more toward the end. And, she seemed to me very tired, very world-weary, and, a little bit untethered. Now, I don't know, because, people like us who believe in the paranormal, we're always worried about being seen as crazy. So I don't want to imply that she was dishonest or untethered from reality, but untethered from reality wouldn't have been an unfair description of the way she was that night. And I don't want to speak ill of the dead. And, she did answer my question. I did get to physically speak to her one-on-one. And my question to her was basically, this was during my angry teenage atheist phase. And I'm like, I'm into parapsychology. I want to believe. But can you just, give me something to base this on scientifically? And she said, well, you're just a soul. I'm trying to remember. And what she said to me back, and these are, as close to her exact words as I can remember, Well, you're a soul in a human body, don't you? And you exist, so clearly there's scientific reasoning for the soul to exist, because you're here. And I think I offended her with my question, and, I'm sorry about that. That was not my intention, but I really am interested, in rooting parapsychology into plausible science, and that's what I was trying to get at. I've done a whole video on how evolution actually makes the paranormal more likely, not less. So I'm interested in that grounding. But anyway, I'm glad to have had the opportunity to meet her and John, and I apologize for my somewhat perhaps insensitivity, but there's nothing I can really do about it now. I haven't seen the Conjuring movies. I think the only one I've seen is Annabelle, and I thought that was kind of, tawdry and silly. I'm not gonna see this movie, but I did want to recollect on, reigniting sort of interest in the power couple of parapsychology. Hey, editing room Tommy here. I just wanted to add something else that I happen to remember. So first, I had to double check the date that Ed Warren died, and I realized that it had been less than 2 months after his death that I met her. And I think that probably explains both the way she was, tired and untethered, and also probably why she seemed to have gotten offended at my question. So, I'm extra sorry for that. I knew that Lorraine Warren had died, but I saw the date and it sparked a memory in me. So I had a dream out of the blue one day about Lorraine Warren that, we were in a church. I was in a church, and she was sort of walking in the corridor, past the sanctuary, and I stopped her and I'm like, "Hey, Lorraine, I'm really sorry. I've had so many paranormal experiences. I know that I came off really rude to you, and I'm sorry." And she said, "You know what? That's all right. And you take care of yourself." And I realized, based on the date she passed, that dream happened right around the time that she passed. And I've had those sort of weird prophetic dreams before, and I think that might have been Lorraine giving me a little bit of forgiveness and reconciliation, spiritually. Anyway, my voice is going to give out if I don't stop talking soon. So thanks, and enjoy the movie if you're going to see it, and take care, folks.